All right, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, 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 Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, honors and salutations to you, sincere Akim, laboring in this truth of the hopeful elect. And this lesson, this show, we're gonna call it "They're Threatening to Shut You Down," all right, or they're threatening to cut you off. And then of course you know what the rest is. Cut you off from society and the way of doing anything if you don't take the C hip. So these things that are coming out, these articles I'm gonna go into, all right, are just further proving the advancement of the MOTB and how these devils are really pushing this thing. All right. Now you hear from Apostle Tahar and all the rest of the men and brothers of Great Millstone, you keep hearing us constantly constantly going into it and bringing it, but now it's the advancement of it is real because they've been operating doing the setup, test runs, trial runs, and things of that nature. So now there's a few things that came out recently, which I didn't get a chance to speak on, but I've seen certain brothers require quam out there in England. The brother out there, he spoke on it. I believe Apostle Rhyme Lob spoke on it, and then also too, this brother. This is a video I'm gonna play from the brother Dama, right, the beloved elder brother in Boston, where he's going into this whole thing, which the digital ID, which that's not. I don't believe that to be the MOTB, but the layout is very similar. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna play some this brother's video and jump and hit a few points, because hey, through the spirit, this brought it back to my attention. I was watching this video, which is a great video through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And let me see if I could play it from the. Bear with me, I probably have to jump around to some of the main points.
Let me go here. Hey, Shalom, Barakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Charkodash, Divine Apostle, Bishop, Elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing, we're finding that number to be delivered. Alright, so right to the point, real quick. This was an image of Bill Gates, as you see here from X.com. Alright, and the caption reads this. It says, Bill Gates and Tony Blair recently said that if you don't have the digital ID by 2028, you will be isolated from society. All right?
And they keep speaking about this too. Now they keep saying this, and this keeps coming up. Some of it the old articles, and then the new articles, and then you just recently had that fake that pseudo king of England, which he ain't no king. He's a damn devil. Like I said, the apostles and some of the brothers in England, a few brothers spoke on it, and that article's been. But they all speaking about these things, and see the key thing, like with the brothers bringing out, and this is the more of the fear tactics, man. And the devil's gonna use nothing but fear tactics. If you remember, how did he get so many people to take the jab and everything? People to allow him. Right now, people were complaining, arrest, all these people, arrest, Falsey and all these other guys, but they used fear. And very few there were that stood their ground and didn't take it, but a lot of people, the majority of the masses. See, the scriptures say, follow not a multitude to do evil. So now you had even other Hebrew Israelite groups that actually flock. That's how we know that they're going to get the C hip, all right, which is the mark of the beast, man. There's no getting around it. The scriptures tell you not to take it. And see, and they putting the pressure. The pressure is being applied as they're coming with the great reset, all right, as they're sitting up there, phasing out, wiping people out, putting out more plagues, creating these false flag attacks and these different endless bankers wars, and they just putting that pressure from above, pressure from beneath on people to force them to comply. Because remember, it's about compliance, man. All right, the Spirit showed me one of the main things with this devil is all compliance. They want you to comply because why? If you comply, that's you putting the devil up over the Most High. You choosing him as your God. And most of our people have done that. That's why they're gone. All right. The scriptures speak about that, right? In the book of matter of fact, hold on, let me pull that scripture real quick. And I'm still dealing with the NLT vibe on this one. All right. Although I go to the KJV if necessary. But because there's certain scriptures that I never read in the NLT, and there's certain ones that I read in the NLT, I like the way they hit as well. Okay, but of course it's the KJV. Needless not to say, right? So, the 4th chapter, I always say the wrong chapter. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. It said, if the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from people who are perishing, right? So the people that can't see about the MOTB are people that are made to die. See, everything is overall is preordained. You have people that are made to live, people that are made to die. You know, the elect of the Lord, which are the Hebrew Israelites, the elect, not all the Hebrew Israelites, a very small group, remnant, the ones, and you know them because why? They have the testimony of the Lord Yahweh Shai, the true testimony. A lot of people say they got, and when you hear them speak and when you go into their doctrine, it's baseless. There's no foundation. There's no truth in it, all right? Or very little. And with the Lord, you got to be 100%, all right? Ain't no half-ass truth. Whereas some of these guys, you got different groups that got information and they don't have the whole 100% truth and they go off on other things. So that means if they don't wake up, which they would have to be an Israelite, because only the Israelites could wake up and actually repent. The Israelites, the ones who we've been telling you, are the real Israelites, not these imposters that have been over there fronting. Okay? So if they don't wake up, it's because they were meant to perish. It said, verse 4, Satan, who is the God of this world, see? Satan. Satan. All right? And who you see all over the screen, the media, the money, everything, you see Satan. All right? And these so-called white people been the children of the devil. That's why they did all the acts that they did. It's all people who are blind that don't get it. They just don't get it. It said, who is the God of this world has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. So, that's why we're beyond that, man. How long has this truth been out? Now everybody know about the Hebrew Israelites. We ain't at a point where we got to sit there and break our neck. Yahweh Shai was cold. When you read and study the Lord was cold, man. He wasn't sitting up there breaking his neck for the wicked Pharisees and wicked Sadducees and demons that were coming up trying to trap him up. He wasn't nice to them at all, man. All right? He wasn't nice to them at all. I don't know where y'all got this nice guy image of that. Y'all ain't reading the Bible. The Bible tell you how the Lord was an austere man. Okay? So same thing applies to now. Now we're not in the time. If you can't, especially, and nigga, with all the shit happening, you still hoping for a brighter day and thinking things are going to pass away. Nigga, really, the best thing for you would be, you know what? Because while you sitting here still breathing, you're only getting worse and worse. And that's why the Lord is a cutoff point to where the Most High start laying that judgment upon our people. And he even said it in the book of Isaiah. He said, why should I stricken you anymore? Here it is. All the information is out. We're constantly, in this work, brothers putting in work, man. You see the apostles are constantly, nonstop, throwing videos out like a robot almost, like a spiritual robot. You see constantly putting the Apostle Gabar, the daily few-hour classes and stuff, which is just a wealth of information, the deepness, like the scriptures speak about the riches of the Most High in Romans. The rest of the apostles and bishops and the elders and all them in a great millstone, brothers constantly uploading and putting out information. There's no excuse for you not to get this word. So again, going back to the 3rd verse, if the good news we preach is hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only from people who are perishing. Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Yahweh Shai, because it's not Christ. All right? That's what they translated into today's term, but the name there, and actually for Christ is Mashiach, right? Which means anointed. And his name is Yahweh Shai. So that's why we say that, because we're in a time now where you're supposed to call upon the true name. And at the end of the day, you're going to have people debating it, but we're going to see what name the Lord, you keep calling a higher Yeshaya and, Yahweh, Yeshua. We'll see where that's gonna get you. And all these guys that's producing that don't have the real name don't even have the real doctrine. You see? So not only we say we have the true name, but we back it up with the true doctrine of prophecy that you see happening right now as we speak to this day and continues to happen. So, it's going to be known who the men of the Lord are. But it said, verse 5, you see, we don't go around preaching about ourselves. We preach that Yahweh Shai is Lord, and we ourselves are your servants for Yahweh Shai's sake. And that's right. We don't sit there and tell you about us. And that was a telltale sign about a lot of guys. A lot of these guys like to pump themselves up as if they the Lord, as if they actually sacrificed their life for the whole nation, being perfect without sin and still allowing themselves. Nah, you didn't do that. And none of us did that, So anyway, I'll go back to the video where the brother was speaking about, because these are things that are coming. So that's why it's important for us to constantly make mention of this whole MOTB, the digital ID, the whole great reset, everything that's involved in it, to where the data centers where they've been moving people out of the areas and creating a water crisis, right? There's a lot of things that they're doing, but it's because of they're doing it for the sake of their new world order, which is not gonna go how they think it is. But now this is here, and this is the thing that they do. They pressure you into bowing down by threatening to cut off your existence.
Right? So to translate that from you, to translate that for you, that means what? You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell anything. That's the bottom line. Okay? Now, we've been telling you.
And see, and you know that that's not the MOTB, although it's gonna have like the same parameters. It's almost like right now too. Like if you go, which everything is being restricted, of course, but if you go and fly, right, which Thawadi, how about Shemal Shai? I just flew back from Texas, and I made a mistake. You got to pretty much have a passport, right? So I didn't have the passport on me. I think I had it in my luggage. So what they were gonna do, which it's the same information, but if you don't have the national ID or whatever the fuck they call it, I forget the exact terms. So for now, what this devil does, okay, you got to pay an extra $40 or extra, you know what I'm saying? So now what if you ain't got no fucking money? All your money was spent, you had everything set. So now you just stuck. So this creates more issues, and they do this purposely. So again, now it's not the C-HIP, the MOTB is something they actually want to put inside you. All right, point blank, period. They want to put inside you. That's, if you want to know what the difference is, that's the difference. Because then now they got you. All right, they got you. Right now, even with a national or natural ID and all this digital ID, you could sit there, your phone, if it's on your phone or whatever, you could sit there and take it out your pocket and leave it somewhere or whatever. They can't track you. Or if we didn't have these phones and stuff, it'd be harder for them to track us, right? But now when they put the actual C-HIP in you, there ain't nothing you can do about it. But they tell you that it's going to be more convenient because why? People these days, and it's through everything, social media, the frequency, they know that people's minds are mush because they made it that with the food and everything. So people are very forgetful and lightheaded. Got fucking women locking their car, keys in their car while it's still running, like 10 times out of a year. Right, you got people doing, so they said, look, for convenience, all you got to do, and they just eat it up, not looking at the satanic purpose that's behind it. They're getting you to succumb to the MOTB. So this is heavy that these things are constantly coming out, and again, this is what they're saying. So in other words, and again, most people have what they call is the herd mentality. So you ain't going to be famous. You're not going to be able to do nothing or come and even buy and sell like the brother says, unless you starting with the digital ID, all right?
Telling you from the head apostles on down, and even before the majority of us brothers who came in right around 2008, the apostles have been telling you, all right, that the day is coming where they're going to implement a digital chip into your body, into your hand.
Right, and we've been telling you that, the brother's right, and we still telling you, and now we're seeing it to fruition, okay, which, that's the difference. The actual you know, MOTB is they're gonna put it inside you. You see? So now and now and they keep playing with the dates or whatever, which that's the Lord. At the end of the day, the Most High is throwing monkey wrenches in their program. You don't think that these devils wanted to have this thing set up 20, 30 years? They didn't want to sit there and go through. Actually, they got to go through the suffering of watching the Lord's prophets come out here and prophesy their downfall to them on blast and HD, however they want to, however you want to call it. They don't even want to. But the thing is overall, the Most High controls the time. You see, so Esau likes to, he wants to push his time so he can live forever, but he wanted to, you know, that's why they're behind, you know, and it's almost like, what was that movie? Blade. They gave you an example, Deacon Frost and the old, how he was like, look, man, what are y'all waiting for? It's time to do the great reset and get rid of these people. What are you waiting for? And it was an arguing between the two factions of basically what represented the Illuminati. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. Well, these devils been wanting to do it, but the Most High. So that's why you see. And the thing is, with all of the however many millions and billions of people on the earth, they know that That's why they have these multi-crises and different, you know, which is prophecy because the Lord said things are going to be like the labor pains, right? So you'll see the date. It was supposed to be 2026. Now they're saying by 2028 because it's a process of time. But see, the thing is, the Lord said he cut this devil short. So they might not even make it that far. So you're probably going to see them even, how would you say, hyping up things fast, you know, laying out things that they wasn't going to do until next summer. They might start laying out certain different legislation this summer because why? Revelations 12:12. They know that their time is up.
Your forehead, all right? And you're not going to be able to buy or sell anything. Well, the time is here. The time is here and the time is now where you're starting to see the leaders of this earth, you know, making moves. Okay? So let's go from here.
Yeah, the leaders of this earth, which is Esau, these devils, all right? So now, I'm going to come back to this because the main point I want to get to, and bear with me, you know, I guess I'm one of the L Dub brothers. But the point of the matter is, you know, it's a lot to say at the end of the day. It's a lot to bring out. So that's why we're long-winded with the prophecies and everything. Because now we're in a time of prophecy. You got Israelites stuck in first gear thinking that it's all about trying to go in debate circle and win a damn worldly, you're the debate champ. Or nobody, look at this. Nah, these guys don't know what time. We're in a time of prophecy, man. Okay? And prophecy is not pretty. That's why a lot of people don't want to deal with it because you're not famous. Like a lot of people that might mess with you if you start speaking about prophecy that the Lord is going to destroy America, going to kill a lot of our people, his own people, that, you know, and people ain't thinking of why, they just getting into their emotions. But our people need to be killed. A lot of our people just ain't shit. They just ain't shit. Like what would you do to a woman, right? A man that has a woman, gave her everything she could ever possibly want, you know, they got all these children, but yet she didn't give them no credit. She went, you know, fucking around with some old grimy bum ass nigga that don't got shit going on, right? And then and then come to find out he's the father of the kids that she lied to this nigga. Like, what do you think is gonna happen, right? And then she didn't do it one time. She did two times. She's not gonna change, right? That's why they got the saying you can't make a hoe a housewife, right? Because why? They're not gonna change. And plus, furthermore, it goes deeper into the curses being upon us and our people. That's why these women is the wickedest things on this planet. Okay, until the kingdom of heaven is established. When the kingdom of heaven is established, ain't gonna be no more none of this shit. No more Cardi B's, Nicki Minaj's, Meg Thee Stallion, Aretha Franklin's, none of them old school. It ain't gonna be no more of that. It's gonna be beautiful Israelite women. All right, ain't gonna be no more. The nigga woman is gonna be obsolete. Okay, in the kingdom of heaven, things are gonna be set in the right order. You're gonna have women being effeminate. No more women looking like they work on fucking airplane motors and shit. Women with deep bases, and women with crazy mountainous types looking like Mount Fiji and shit, talking about they a queen. And nah, that shit's gonna be a thing of the past, man. See, it is a real global change coming, but not the one that they think. All right, so now, with that being said, back in the NLT. Let me get this, because I was reading this in Isaiah the 32nd chapter, which is in line to what we're going into, right? Of course. And again, it goes hard, right? So now this is Isaiah 32, verse 1. It says, look, a righteous king is coming. And that ain't no fucking narrow Trump. All right, that devil tried to he made a lot of people think he was the Lord. Well, guess what? There's a big problem with that, man. The Lord ain't never looked like none of that. All right, Trump has leprosy too. All these so-called white people, that's a curse for them to look like that. People are supposed to have color to which man was made of the earth. So there's different hues of the ground. I mean, from the earth, different shades of brown, so to speak. But now when you read in the Bible, the scriptures tell you clearly that the Lord is a so-called black man. So when they picture them with that false image of who they call Christ, which is really a recent picture of Cesare Borgia, and it goes back, but that's not the real Lord, all right? And if you did any research, you'll know that. But when it says a righteous king is coming, it's speaking about the Lord, the same one who they made all of the icons. If you're privy enough to see any ancient Russian icons, if they ain't get rid, which they can't get rid of all of them, you see them as a so-called black man. You see the Israelites as a so-called black man, from being real dark brown to lighter, different shades of brown. They got all these records are there. All right. So when it says a righteous king is coming, it's speaking about the true Lord. Yahweh Shai is his name. It said, and honest princes will rule under him. Right. That's speaking about the elect. Matthew 19 and 27. That's what the Lord said, right? Ecclesiastes, blessed are the land when your nobles and princes eat in due season. It said, each one will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm. Right? Speaking about now. All right? Because the storm is coming. The time of Jacob's trouble is just going to continue to increase. Okay? And these women, they're going to be looking for men of the Lord, because why? The Spirit of the Lord is going to be with us, man. Or else, how will we be able to laugh at famine and destruction unless the Lord is with us, right? So it says, like streams of water in the desert, in the shadow of a great rock in a parched land. Yeah, if there's a drought, okay, you in the desert and you ain't drunk water in over 2-3, and if you see a stream of water, that's gonna be the best thing. You ain't even gonna be able to describe how relieved you're gonna feel. So the men of the Lord is gonna make the men of the Lord like that fresh stream of water throughout in the middle of a desert, all right, in a parched land. Verse 3, then everyone who has eyes will be able to see the truth, and everyone who has ears will be able to hear it, right? Which is what? The elect. The elect are the ones who, the Lord, that's why Yahweh Shai said, he who have ears, let him hear. He who have eyes, let him see. Because not everyone has eyes. So that's why a lot of our people still don't see, no matter how much proof. And that's why this is for the record. It's for the elect, the sheep, okay? Because our job is to feed them with the truth, the word of the Most High, not bullshit, not some bullshit GMO turkeys. No, you're supposed to feed them with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding pursuant to the Bible. So our job is to do that. So we that's the purpose of being a man of the Lord. All right, you got to learn it for yourself, but then you got to teach other men. But at the end of the day, we're not here to convince nobody, because we know everybody don't got eyes where they could see. It said even the hotheads will be full of sense and understanding. Those who stammer will speak out plainly. In that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. See? Because now they talking Trump, which he's just always remember, he's not the big bad wolf. He's just the face or a figurehead. All right? Those are all puppets. All these people you see talking on the TV, they're puppets of the Illuminati, the international banking family that actually always existed, and they still exist. And they operate in the shadows. That's well known at this point, right? It says, in that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. Because why? When the Lord come back, that's why in Revelation the 19th chapter it spoke of the Lord wearing many crowns, right? It says scoundrels, right, which is a low down, evil, wicked motherfucker. It says scoundrels will not be respected. And that's these so-called white people. Because right now in this society, they're respected, And there's been a resurgence of so-called white pride. Well, that's good, because the Most High want these devils to be at the apex of their pride for when he come back to crush them. All right? Because the Lord is going to crush these devils. That's the only liberation or redemption we're going to get. Anybody telling you can save yourself and everything, they smoking too much drugs, man. All right? It's time for niggas to get the fuck up off the drugs. All right, niggas need mirrors. Maybe niggas ain't got enough mirrors. I don't know. Look in the fucking mirror and see what the problem is, man. The problem is fucking yourself, man. Put down the goddamn blunt. Put down the drugs. You know. Hell, even put down the bottle if you want it that long, which is nothing wrong, according to the Bible, with drinking. All right, but you whatever you got to do to sober up, so you can see the truth or see the light. Because I don't know if they told you these times are the times of the end. There's never been a time like this, and there's more death that's going to keep coming and following right after each other. Right when you think it's safe and everything, you're out the woods, and then bam, more destruction is going to come upon you. So you got to really, truly, and I'm not talking about being in a Black Panther group or wherever you think you're going to take arms. That's not it. That's not going to happen. All right? We got to wait. The Lord is going to come and bring the deliverance, okay? But now this is verse 6. It said, for fools speak foolishness. And that's pretty much what this is at the end of the day, because they're talking about these things as far as the New World Order as if it's a full-fledged thing, as if it's a thing that's going to actually stand and everything, when that's not even the case. I mean, right now, the Most High is doing it, right? Letting them get, just like he did with Pharaoh. It's the same thing. But it said, for fools speak foolish and make evil plans. See? And that's what this is. Because with the national or the digital ID, national ID, which I believe pretty much is going to lead up to the actual RFID, the implementation of the chip. All right, but this is part of an evil plan. Okay, and there's going to be a lot of our people that's going to fall into it. It says, for fools, Slakia. It said, for fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. They practice ungodliness, and that's what they've been doing. All this Neuralink, all these different things that they've been prepping, how they could sit there and roll out this chip. So it said they practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord. Oh yeah, the Lord is not going to come. Oh, those are aliens, and with the so-called UFOs, they trying to demonize them and say they captured them, and then even to the point of what? Saying that the Lord looked like them. They still pushing that, because you still got, right now, 2026, you still got Negroes out there with that so-called white image of Christ in their fucking house. All right, thinking that that's the man that they praying to, right? So that's why the Lord got to kill him, man. The Heavenly Father is appalled at you niggas, okay? For many reasons, man. And that being one of the top ones, for you to sit there and think that the Heavenly Father ever looked like that. His son ever looked like that. All right? This man is the devil. That's your oppressor, the colonizer. And you still want to be oppressed. So the Most High is appalled. And that's why he's going to release his fury on our people through the hands of this devil. The same one that you love, you thought was God. The Most High going to let him show you his true side. And it ain't going to be nice. A lot of you niggas, watch, more niggas going to be complaining. They all, which, of course that dude was a plant or whatever. I ain't believe the nigga or whatever, but I know, he was definitely set up. Chud, I guess the Chud, and there's a bunch of those Edomites out there now doing that stuff. But that, you got bigger problems than that. All right? And again, like I said, you niggas are complaining or angry over the wrong things, man. Okay? Y'all still don't know what's going on in the grand scheme of things, and most of you not gonna learn. So it's not even worth time trying to explain stuff to a lot of these niggas out here. Really, it's the elect. The elect is going to just get it. You see what I'm saying? The elect is going to get it. The Ezekiel chapter 9 and 4 brothers, right? The men that sigh and cry out for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Brothers who are adverse to all the wickedness going on, that haven't succumbed to the philosophies of this world, the nasty, dirty alphabet agenda. If you're a part of that, then you lost. The Most High ain't never rocked with that. He ain't never justified it. Just this devil that's in power, he sat there and pushed that. All right, this what they call it, not womanism, or feminism, right? Woman liberty. If you with that, then the Heavenly Father's not with you. The Most High ain't set a woman to be a fucking man or do the same thing as a man or to sit there and be out of order. These women are totally out of fucking line. And that's why I think the judgments that's coming upon them are coming. All right. So anyway, reading back to the scripture, They said they deprived the hungry of food. And we told you they are famines coming. That's why and they want to be the ones that's in control of, they want to ration out if you eat, what you eat, when you eat. All right, these are the things that they're doing. See, when you go, matter of fact, let me see in this video, the brother touches on it, and they keep showing, because they just went to China, so the brother speaks on it, which in a lot of these countries, see over here in America, a lot of news is not, or if it comes out, it's not like pushed or whatever. People in America don't know about everyday life in other countries. They might see certain articles or whatever, unless it become a social media thing like Palestine. Nobody know what the fuck Palestine. Some niggas probably still can't spell Palestine, but then they all put or whatever. I stand with Palestine, not knowing a goddamn thing of what's going on. But that's because of the social media. Most people in America don't know shit, period. And they like it that way. They don't like to watch the news. They don't want to know nothing. But anyway, they go in these other countries and things that some of the things that are implemented over here were already trialed and error in other countries. So this brother speaks on something. I'm going to see if I can find it. Bear with me.
Say that we're not going to be affected by this so-called microchip thing. We're not going to be affected by this theory of buying and selling. I'd like to see what you people are going to do. You don't trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You don't believe the prophets in whom the Lord has set up. So what's your next move? All right?
Hey, their next move is they're going to end up in a concentration camp. They're going to be slain in the streets. They're going to starve to death. All right? And then, ultimately, they're going to fold like a deck of cards, man, and just say, fuck it. Because they have no faith. All right? They have no faith. You got to choose, and all of our faith is going to be tested. I mean, it's been tested. We've been going through the fire, right? But you got our people that have no faith, so they're going to, just speaking on our people.
Go here. This is Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens.
But Slack, I just want to, in the interest of time, I just want to get to the certain part. Let me see if it's around here.
Now, overseas to China.
Okay, yep. We start.
It says,
China. Yep, that's it.
And his goon squad going overseas to China. Now, with that being said, let me play this quick clip. All right?
This is all fair use.
Let me play this quick clip. Let me get that clip. Give me 1 second here.
Will move towards an AI surveillance state. Why am I here? I'm here because the world will move towards an AI surveillance state. What does that mean in reality for the average person? For the average person, it means two things. It means digital ID and digital currency. So what that will allow is for the government to basically monitor everything you do online and control.
Now, if you notice what he had in his hand, he had a folder in his hand which said prediction. All right? This is no prediction. They already know what's in place. They already know what's in store.
Yeah, and see, because why? They already had this, I guess you could call it the beginning of this system already implemented in China, right? So that's what those meetings are really about. It ain't about no peace trio. You don't bomb Taiwan. It ain't about that. It's about furthering how they're going to operate with this new system. And then that they'll be able to transfer easily over into the RFID system. Just the implementation is all that'll be necessary at this point, right? So I wanted to just touch on this real quick. Another point, because again, there's a few articles. I'm just gonna jump around again for the interest in time. But they already have this social credit system, right? That they have in China, and all these different things are similar to natural ID, national ID, which again I believe is going to lead to that chip, or is a definitely going to lead to the chip, but it's a template. It's a template. So now anyway, it said as of early 2026, reports on China's social credit system indicate it has evolved away from a single universal national numerical score towards a fragmented but highly effective patchwork of corporate and individual blacklists aimed at political compliance and financial enforcement. So this is and it's a lot of different things. I mean, you got to, I'm not gonna go into the article they got this one from, but just gonna hit a few points and see. The thing is, what they're doing, this makes your life a living hell. All right, it makes your life a living hell. But what they do is they starve you out. They cut you off from, like the brother said, being able to buy or sell, and that's how everybody's gonna take to see it. All right, case in point, going again back to the jab. That's how they got everybody to take the jab, because they threaten people's jobs and livelihood and not being able to go here, there, and pretty much go in supermarkets and get the things you need, and people forward it. So it's the same thing. And now they just, and down there in China, which I don't know if I got the article, but it's been a mess. And of course, all the Esau shit overall is faulty. They sell it like it's gonna be, oh, this is a perfect thing. Oh, the new cars, the energy, you can have self-driving cars. Then you hear about all these cars fucking locking up, people burning to death in the cars that can't get out the car, cars driving over off of bridges and all kind of crazy shit. And they could be controlled by the international bankers, the same demonic rotten scoundrels that are, So this is going to be no different. And it's like I said, because they got to work the kinks out, so to speak, right? But they don't got time to work the kinks out. That's the thing. So now, let's see. It said, while early Black Mirror-esque predictions of a simple, all-encompassing score did not fully materialize nationwide, the actualized horrors reported involved severe, often automated restrictions on mobility and economic livelihood, particularly for those labeled as dishonest. So they could call you dishonest. This thing reaches into everything, because everything is based off of social media posts and things of that nature, which they created it, but now they integrated it with the technology, the new technology, where they can spy on your every word, right? They use terms such as algorithms and everything to pick up on certain keywords, right? Which it might be a word that they want to eliminate, but if they hear you say certain words, they can say, oh, you know what? You're a bad person, right? You're dishonest. Oh, you're dealing with hate speech, and the list goes on and on and on. And the thing about it, you're not even gonna have your day in court with none of this stuff. It's not even like you could even prove yourself, Whereas before, say if you get caught with a traffic ticket, or a cop pulls you over and falsely arrests you or whatever, you could go to court and fight your case. You're not gonna be able to fight nothing. Just like right now, like with mostly everything is, like I said, automated. And that's no coincidence, right? Which they got rid of a lot of the jobs, and that started when they started outsourcing things. So then they started with certain people that don't even speak English in certain jungles of who the fuck knows, it's Philippines or Taiwan, or they answering the call and they don't speak English. They keep running you around. Now they got the automation in there where you be lucky to even get a person if you got a problem with your cell phone, paying your cell phone bill, debit card, bank card, credit card. If somebody took money out of it, you got to go through all these different hula hoops, and a lot of times you still don't get no justice because you're talking to a fucking machine or a robot, right? That's making all kind of errors, and the only thing they do is they just go through procedures. They don't sit there and sort out, oh, okay, well, that was an error. We're sorry, So it's only going to intense, right? So now, just reading out, it says, mass travel restrictions. Millions of people deemed untrustworthy, right? And if you didn't, they're going to deem you that, like if before there was people that wasn't getting the jab at one time, you were untrustworthy. If you didn't walk around with a mask, right? They got the haunting virus out there now, right? So you know how you already know how that rollout goes. So, and if you speak against it or whatever, you're untrustworthy. They could deem you untrustworthy. Who's the one doing it? The elites, all right? It said including those with unpaid court debts known as lai, which that's in China. But again, they already started, like the brother said, this is something that they already started, which is going to lead up into the chip. It's going to lead up into the chip. So now here it is, because sometimes, you'll get, you know, and they got rid of I think they got rid of mostly all the toll booths as far as humans. Now it's all sensors and they scan you. So say if you ain't even drive your car on that highway and you get sent a ticket, you gotta really pay the shit, you know? And now with this system, guess what? You don't even get the right to try to file, and they take it automatically out of your account. So now you can't go back and stack the money because they got rid of the cash. These are the things that are coming, man. These are the things that are coming. You know, and it's a lot to it, man. All right. It says, oh yeah, they ban you from flying. So, you know, as if, you know, which you don't really want to fly unless, you know, I mean, if I have to, I have to, you know, send up the prayers. I mean, the Lord is with you. Nobody could be against you at the end of the day. But really, it's coming to the point where they're gonna, you know, they put a strain on the traveling, but they're gonna shut it down, and then you're gonna have, you know, starting with either the digital ID, but then eventually you're gonna have that straight up chip. Okay, the straight up chip. All right. So let's see. It said widespread public shaming. Blacklisted individuals have their personal information displayed on public electronic billboards in cinemas and on social media to humiliate them into compliance. See, that's what they're doing. They're gonna shame you and make you. Oh, this guy is. Oh, he's ripping off the state. He's not paying his taxes. He has hate. He doesn't like, you know, rainbow people. They're gonna sit there. This guy he didn't pay his tickets and speak. All these different things. They're gonna just sit there and they could demonize you. They could make you look like you committed a crime you was nowhere near through all of this deep fakes and things of that nature. So these are things that are gonna really shake people up and force them into accepting, you know, the complying with the elites and taking that chip. Okay, jump down. Like I said, it's a lot, you know, and maybe Lord willing, another time I could go into a little bit more. It's a lot of different things that are affected and what they're doing. And like I said, this is already implemented in China, and it's a disaster. You look at some reports of disaster, and it's because one, it's not righteous, it's not a fair. And once you learn that the system and these laws were never meant to be fair, right? That they were meant to just keep you in check and underneath the bankers, then you understand why everything is what it is. When you get caught up in the illusion of thinking that these laws are righteous and it's about making you free, you're gonna be fucked up. All right, but let me just read on some more of these points. Right, so it says professional and financial ruin. Those on blacklists are frequently barred from hiring, obtaining insurance, and now everything is based on all kind of insurances that you don't need, which the rates are extremely out of this world. Auto insurance, health insurance, workman's comp insurance, all these different. So now, if you put on that list, the shit list, which you know, if you speak against if you speak against this government, you already know what list you're gonna be on. And if you a true prophet of the Lord, you definitely know what list you're gonna be on, right? But these are the things. This is what's planned, and this is what they have operating in China. They keep trying to work out the kinks, but this is a thing that over there in England, what they were talking about. Okay, in the United States, they're talking about it as well. That's why you gotta, or now if you don't have the natural ID, you know, forgive me if I'm mixing up names of the, you know, forgive me, but if you don't have it, they just penalize you for now. You know, they just make you pay more money as an effort into one to rip you off, rob you, and to force you or coerce you to you know, bow down to what they putting out there. Okay, it says yeah, so it'll bar you from hiring, obtaining insurance, securing loans. Businesses can be blacklisted for issues such as failing to pay migrant workers' wages, preventing them from bidding on contracts or receiving licenses, collateral damage to the family. Reports indicate that children of people with low social credit scores have been barred from attending private schools. So now they're going to turn your children against you. It's all your fault, Dad. It's all your fault, Mom. Your social credit score is, you're a bad person, right? Like, This is the wildness that these devils are crafting up, and people don't realize. Like people are sitting there trying to party this shit away or act as if these things are not happening, right? Whatever form of escapism, which is taking them from reality, that's why they're gonna be fucked up when these things actually come to pass, man. Okay, now this was one of the okay, let me start at this one too, because man, see, it's a reason why they stopping everything, resetting everything, because they're gonna take total control of everything, the narrative. Like right now, you got social media, you got people sitting there speaking out, because everything is done now, damn near through social media, right? That's the court of public opinion, whether they condemn you, whether something's right or not, because people are stupid. People can't think for themselves. But anyway, it says political surveillance and dissent control. The system is heavily used to silence opposition. See, and they show you this in all these different dystopian movies, whether the old ones, new ones, and they'd sit there, but then they'll write it off. Oh yeah, well that's just what people say, hearsay. Like up above, they said Black Mirror-esque, right? But at the end of the day, this is what's happening, right? It's right out of a movie script, dog. From the Simpsons to 1984 to V for Vendetta, all these different movies, The Purge, Civil War, right? We could go on days for days with predictive programming movies. Days and days. We could put a whole clip, hours of this predictive programming clip. Because why? That's how these devils do. They hide it in plain sight, right? But it says the system is heavily used to silence opposition with points deducted for actions such as protesting. So they got everybody and their mama protesting. That's why they're not worried about all these people, because at the end of the day, they got the power and the might. Okay? And they're going to put, when it's time, they want that to justify them implementing martial law in certain areas or whatever. All right? Whereas you will have business as usual. Got to bring that out because the Lord said that. So we know that. Scriptures tell you it's going to be as in the days of Noah, right? They're going to be eating, drinking, giving in marriage. Meaning what? Business as usual in certain cities. But now we believe like a lot of these major cities are going to be the cities that's going to be affected the worst, shut down the most, and anything that's neighboring, right? In all these countries, all right? But in a lot of places, you will have certain business as usual, all right? Which is going to, it's going to make it a weird time, all right? A lot of people are going to be deceived and fooled. We know what time is. We like right now. We know real soon the Lord is coming. The Lord is going to crack them skies, man, with the chariots, the real angels. We're just hoping and praying because why? We know that at the end of the day, it's not of us. It's of the Lord's mercy and grace. So we're hoping that we receive grace in that time. That's why we do the things we do. We give diligence. We go all out to make sure that we teach what the Lord said and prophesy and speak. Herald in the coming of the Lord, right? So it says, with points deducted for actions such as protesting, posting unsanctioned information online. Because remember, they created all these small hat internet police bullshits, Snopes, ADL. Oh, now that's fake news, false news. So, and now they got the nerve. And how much false news has this president put out there? He said that the war over there in Iran was over a long time ago. Oh, it was easier than we thought. Come on. But now they can sit there and say unsanctioned. Sanctioned by who? See? Spreading rumors about local government. Yeah, they coming down on some gangster shit. You see? But this was another one. It's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of things that go into this digital system, digital ID part, which is really goes into the beast system, And it's here. It's here. It's a lack of due process. Many individuals are blacklisted without trial or meaningful opportunities to appeal, leading to situations, where people are essentially sentenced by an algorithm or local official without legal recourse. It's a movie. Well, I can't think of the movie, man. I seen it before, and then I was watching it in Texas. Then they had AI. It was a cop. It was a new program they was pushing, basically an AI prosecutor and judge and everything, and basically, you know, they they um they set up your execution and everything. Damn, what was the movie? I can't even remember, man. I was watching it with Paso Ramlob and I think Bun Sapot out in Texas. I seen it like maybe a couple months ago. It's been out for about a couple months. It's one of them Netflix movies. You know, I can't think of it, but anyway, they show you that, and there's other movies where they show you that. So, you know, that's gonna be the thing that's really vexing. Just like when you know that you're innocent or you're being persecuted wrongfully, and you can't defend yourself. That's the worst feeling, man. And you still get railroaded. Well, yeah, the great railroading's coming. So that's why our only hope is in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. Remember, the Lord sent angels. All right, and that actually happened. All right, and seeing and that's just me off of belief. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I don't have a VCR tape of it right now where I can pop it in and take you back to, you know, the 30s, 20s, and 30s AD and show you, yeah, see that, you know, 35 AD. Look what happened, man. See, that's Peter, right? Of course, but through faith, all right, through faith and everything that I've seen in the scriptures and see them to be true, everything that happened in it is history. And now you can go further because Esau has certain archaeology that proves these things, and these were actual, you know, Peter's house and things, all that things of the nature. But pursuant to the scriptures, man, the belief in the scriptures is all we need. That's the main ingredients. That's the faith. All right, because and look at it this way: if what the scriptures say are not true, if it was a fairy tale, as dumbass niggas like to think, then we really fucked. Because then there's no escape. See, the truth, right? 8:32 shall set you free, right? The truth, knowing the truth, according to the Bible. This is what gives you the freedom of the rise above all these things that are happening. Because they're supposed to happen. You understand why. It was prophesied, you know? So knowing this truth is a plus. Having faith is a plus, all right? Knowing the true name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is a plus. And it's supposed to be people opposing you in that faith, right? Because that's where the Lord's power is going to really reign throughout the earth. How many people was hating on, you know, it was niggas still, even after they got delivered out of Egypt, niggas was still hating on the Most High through Moses. Oh man, I don't know why you brought us out here. You brought us out here to die. We should have just stayed in Egypt. You're going to always have them little fucking bottom feeding niggas, man. Right? But the Most High is going to always come through and deliver us, man. All right, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to end it back in, I'm going to finish out Isaiah 32nd chapter. All right, and I'm going to start back about 7. So it said, the smooth tricks of scoundrels are evil. And that's what we're reading about as we going into that whole thing with that social credit system. It all links into what they're trying to do with the MOTB, which, as the elder brother from Boston is going into it in his lesson, right? It says, they plot crooked schemes. We just read about it, right? They lie to convict the poor. See? Now they got it to where you're going to be convicted by a goddamn algorithm, by an AI, by a robot, something that can't feel, think, or whatever, you know? It's just programmed by a bunch of evil, nasty motherfuckers. You see? It says, but generous people plan to do what is generous, and they stand firm in their generosity. Listen, you woman who lie around in ease. Yeah. Listen to me, you who are so smug, right? Fucking smug, right? So in a short time, just a little more than a year, you curious one will suddenly begin to care. See? Yeah, they all that independent, which is happening now, but these women are still so proud and wicked because they trying to figure out why they single and big thing now that the so-called black men, especially the ones that are successful in this world or whatever, why they, you know, they trying to shame them, you know, they get with a white woman, why they ain't looking for it. Well, first of all, you know, niggas are waking up on that level that you black woman ain't shit. And what happens when, you know, a brother get a so-called sister? She take him to the cleaners, destroy him, right? Plots on them. And they look, there's women that actually sit there and be praying on these niggas when they get new NBA contract. Like, you gonna act like this shit doesn't exist? these women are very, very delusional, man. You'd be hard pressed to find a woman that has any type of accountability. All they want to do is, blame and like they're the victim all the time when they're the cause of the whole shit. See, us here, we're not gonna candy coat nothing. All right, the Bible don't candy coat nothing. The Lord is gonna bring destruction upon our people. So it said, listen, this is the scriptures, man. Now this is in the NLT. Y'all might not understand the KJV, which is the closest translation to the Hebrew. So this is the NLT. It says, listen, you women who lie around in ease, listen to me. You are so small in a short time, just a little more than a year, you careless ones will suddenly begin to care. Because why? All like the nice jobs and everything are coming to a halt, right? Because a woman loves nothing more than her job. A woman will put her job before her relationship if she's in a relationship. A woman will put a job before her kids. Because why? She thinks, because it goes back to the Gardenian pact. Like what man Shabazz, the disciple, said, right? The Gardenian pact is true, and that's what they trust in. They don't trust in the black man because why? We're not in power right now, all right? So they see us as, what the so-called white man said. They see us as ignorant slaves and this, that, and the third, unless a nigga sell out and do some white people shit or nigga shit. But for them, they don't respect us because why? We're not in power. But that's changing. Okay, and they're going to come to a point where they're going to really, like right now, they shit all over the Israelites and especially GMS. And they're going to know in that they're going to say, nah, because right now maybe, a UIC or a GOCC guy, maybe they could get a groupie chick, right? But I'm just saying, they're going to be knowing, they're like, nah, y'all ain't got the right doctrine. We want a brother from GMS. We looking for one of them sincere brothers from GMS. Why? It's going to happen. Isaiah the 4th chapter. And it's not nothing because of us. We didn't make ourselves this. No, the Lord had mercy on us. And the thing is, we held on to that which is good, even when it wasn't popular. A lot of these other Israelite groups out here, they folded. They placated to the world. They placated to women. They did everything but what the Most High said and being faithful. We stay faithful, whether you hate us, like us, love us. We're not concerned with that, man. We're concerned with the Heavenly Father, how he feels about us. All right? We're not even concerned with our own lives because we know that the Lord could raise us back up just like that. We believe and understand that and know that. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to end it right there. I pray that this video was edifying. Like I said, the brother, and again, there's a few videos and probably going to speak about this more, because this is prophecy. So you got to speak about prophecy and things, the prophetic things that are in the news and pull out the meat and the bones or separate it, so to speak. But this brother, of course, subscribe to him, GMS Boston on the streets. That's the elder brothers up there in Boston, and watch this video if you get a chance. It's a pretty good video the brother did. And there's tons of them. The Spirit, that's the Lord, man. Wells of living waters just springing up everywhere. That's prophecy. So with that, I'm going to say, Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Dash, say Shalom.